In conservative evangelical circles, oftentimes there'll be a real concern about immigration, and especially what? Illegal immigration, right? There are all sorts of legitimate things to be concerned about that. But here's the thing. What if that is God's plan to reverse secularization in the United States?
America has an enemy, and immigrants are bringing a tremendous revival of Christianity to the country and their churches. I don't think the enemy likes it.
Let me just say something encouraging. I believe that the de-churching thing will bottom out in about 20 or 30 years. Because number one, immigration means non-white people are a lot less secular and a lot less individualistic than white people.
Our evangelical world, especially in the southeastern United States, tends to be whiter than other parts of the evangelical world. And in that context, there can be a fear about immigration. I was telling, again, Bob and I were talking beforehand, I was at a conference, it would have been less than 10 years ago, and I was simply quoting some of the immigration statistics. So, Teresa and I were talking about two members of her family who are Hispanic. And they are going to be in the plurality. They're going to be in the largest ethnic group probably in the next 10 years or so in the United States. There'll be more Hispanic people than there will be. I'm a person of Scottish and English descent mostly, although there's some Cherokee Indian and some other stuff in there too. There are going to be more Hispanic people than there are people like me in the United States in just a decade or a decade and a half. And then 20 years beyond that, anybody know what the largest ethnic group is going to be in the United States? Asian. This country in 2055 is going to be majority Asian. Now, a lot of folks are scared by that. You know, in conservative evangelical circles, oftentimes there'll be a real concern about immigration, and especially what? Illegal immigration, right? That'll be one of our big concerns. But here's the thing, and look, I understand there are all sorts of legitimate things to be concerned about that, but here's the thing. What if that is God's plan to reverse secularization in the United States? You know, all of us here, because we're Bible-believing Christians, are concerned about a culture that's growing farther away from God, more opposed to the Bible, more opposed to Jesus, more opposed to the gospel. What if immigration is part of God's strategy to reverse that in the United States? And that people that don't look like me, actually, because they believe like me, are much closer to me than people who do look like me and who don't believe the Bible and don't believe in Jesus and don't believe the gospel. Oh, that gets me excited. You see, because by and large, the Asians who have immigrated to the United States and are now part of the culture and are a growing part of the population do not share the secular assumptions of many people that look like me in the Pacific Northwest and in the Northeast of the United States, in the Ivy League schools and such. So, and it certainly, it gives us a great gospel opportunity. When government changes certain law codes, it can have a huge cultural effect, and the civil rights legislation definitely had that. Alongside of that, there's something that happened that I think a lot of people miss, and that was the Immigration Reform Act that was passed about the same time. That is why our country has diversified the way it has diversified over the last 50 years. And it has put us in a very, very different world.